Hello, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to Real Estate 101 with Brooke Boone, and I am Brooke Boone. It is April the 11th, and I am so happy to be here with you guys. Welcome. I am a top selling real estate agent. I service Tennessee, Mississippi, and Arkansas. I am the curator of Brunch with Brooke. Details will be coming up very soon, of course, and I am all about all things real estate. There's so many things about me. I always ask everybody on the show, who am I? Who are you and what do you do? And so today I decided that I wanted to answer who am I and what do I do? And so you know that I'm a top selling real estate agent, but there are so many more things about me. I am a lover of movies. I love books. I love to shop and I love to eat at nice restaurants. My friends are gonna laugh and everybody is gonna say Houston's, but there's so many other restaurants that I enjoy as well. And as you can tell, I love champagne and wine alike. So I am the mother of two beautiful children. I am God fearing and I love to laugh. Laughter is so good for the soul. And so, if I had to sum up who I am, what I just shared with you would be who I am. And what I do, of course, like I just said, is I am a top selling real estate agent and I service Tennessee, Mississippi, and Arkansas. And I am so happy to have you here with me today. I wanted to take a quick second to give a major shout out to Danielle, my friend, who was on the last episode of Real Estate 101 with Brooke Boone. She was here with me, and it was a really great episode. And I got a lot of direct messages, text messages, and emails giving feedback about the show and how much a lot of women my age, which we joked about it being middle aged. And Danielle said we're not quite middle aged, but in my opinion, we are middle aged because I think we have probably more time behind us than we do in front of us. And so that would make us middle aged. But, anyways, so many people reached out to both of us. So many people reached out to me and they just said how much they enjoyed the transparency of the episode, the honesty, us being authentic, sharing our lives, sharing things about us, and the encouragement to read the book, A Purpose Driven Life, which I'm definitely still going to advocate for because it is one of the best reads of my lifetime and something that has truly changed my life. And so I just wanted to give her a shout out because I'm very thankful that she took the time to come on here and share her journey with all of us. So we are, Danielle chose a second book for us to read, and she actually started a book study, and I'm very excited about it. But the book that we are currently reading is called Good or God by John Bevere. And this book is amazing as well, and he really gives it to us straight. Good or God by John Bevere. Get you a copy. Danielle will be back in a few months to talk about the book. I'm hoping that some of the other girls, the other ladies in our book study will join us, but I haven't asked them yet. And so maybe, maybe when they see this episode, they'll, agree to come and join us and we can have like a panel discussion. I would really love that. So today I'm going to talk about real estate. There is a lot going on with real estate right now. The current market is a little bit different than it has been previously, and it's causing a stir. There's a lot of things that are being said that are not true. And so, first, I want to start off on a good note and talk about some of my clients right now, what's been going on, what are my personal trends in real estate. I haven't been posting as much, but I am definitely still rocking and rolling. And so I'm not gonna call my buyer and sellers names that I'm going to share with you all, but I'm gonna talk about them because I think it's important for people who are interested in purchasing homes or selling homes to get some type of client testimonials or some situations that have occurred so they can kind of weigh their positives and negatives when they are choosing to either buy a home or sell a home, because in this market both of them are causing a stir. People don't know if it's a good time to buy, people don't know if it's a good time to sell. And so right now I have the pleasure of working with some really great people, and I'm going to talk about them for a few minutes. So, buyer number one, or buyer one, is who I will refer to them as. So, a couple, they reached out to me. The fiance, the wife, that's going to soon to be wife, reached out to me about starting the home buying process. You know, they have been renting for a few years, and they decided that, okay, they're gonna go ahead and purchase. And so we jumped right into it. And a lot of things have happened over the last, I want to say, it's been about 50 days, because we were actually under contract on one property the first time, and unfortunately that appraisal came back low. And so I'll talk about that. But it's just been so much fun with them, because I can definitely tell that they just have a love that will last for a lifetime, and their story is really amazing. And I feel so privileged that they chose me to be their realtor. We actually, so we got pre-approval. Actually, let me start from the beginning. They're self-employed, and so anytime I'm working with somebody that's self-employed, you know, I contact my preferred lender and I let them know, okay, this person is self-employed. You need to take a look at their taxes, because, you know, some people who are self-employed like to write off all their income. And unfortunately, if you do that, you will not be able to buy a house. So the good thing was that these folks had not done that. We The underwriters looked at their tax returns and all of that, and we were able to get their pre-approval. So they had a few things that the lender suggested that they needed to do. And when I tell you they did these things fast, they did them like she was on it. Like the next day, she was texting me saying, hey, this was taken care of. Hey, that was taken care of. And so to me, that shows me that a buyer is ready. They mean business. Like, I'm not having to constantly call them and tell them, hey, did you remember, you know, to do this or that the lender asked you to do. They do it and they text me and say, hey, this has already been done. So after that, we get their pre-approval and we started shopping. So funny. He wanted a basketball court and she wanted a swimming pool. But they wanted a brand new house. And we were in, you know, at first she said, the fiance, I just want to spend 500,000. And the husband was like, well, I'm not going to put a cap on it because I don't know if we'll be able to find a house for 500,000. So she was like, yeah, because I still want to shop. And I was like, girl, I don't, you know, I'm going to guide you, but I don't think you're going to find what you're looking for $500,000, a swimming pool and a basketball court, but I will do my best. So I sent them all of these properties in the $500,000 range. She hated them. She didn't like any of them. And I said, well, okay, I'm going to send you some houses in the $600,000 range. She was like, I don't know. So then I started sending 700 up to, 850 around that range. And so her imagination started, flowing. She started to get happy. She started to send me houses back. She was really excited for us to go and look. And so we started shopping. So we found a really lovely home that they loved that was on, I think it was 2 acres of land. So we go under contract, we do the inspections, we, send in our inspection report and all of that. The sellers agreed to fix, repair all of the things that we found on the report. And so a week and a half before closing, we get the appraisal back. And for you guys who may not know what an appraisal is, that is the value of the property. No bank, no lender, no mortgage company is going to give you a loan for a property unless it matches the value. So you can't. They're not. If the value is 500,000, they're not going to give you a loan for $600,000 on that property. So unfortunately, when the appraisal came back, it came back low, and it was a lot low, like over $50,000 low. So at this point, I am working with the lender. I'm working with the other agent because I'm asking her, okay, what is your seller going to be willing to do? Typically, from my experience, what I found is a lot of times sellers will try to meet halfway, or they will say, okay, let's have another appraisal. So that's what they wanted. Well, before you can just ask for another appraisal, you have to have some proof, some evidence, what we call comps, comparables of other properties in the same area, in the same condition that have recently sold. They like them to be within the last 6 months. So I am constantly asking this agent, the listing agent, for comps because I could not find any. I asked, outside of the ones that were used on the appraisal. So I asked a really good friend of mine who is very knowledgeable in real estate. I call him up and I say, hey, can you help me with this? Because, this agent is saying that she has these comps and I can't find them. So some kind of way, the agent told the appraiser that I had been calling him. So he just magically calls me. And he's like, I heard that you've been looking for me because you have these comps. I said, no, I don't have any comps. The listing agent said that she had comps. He said, well, if I use the comps that she gave me, this property will be valued even lower. So at this point, I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to break this news to my buyers, my sweet folks that I just told y'all about that I love so much. So what I did, this is funny, I hadn't told them yet that the appraisal came back low, and me and the lender decided that we would wait to see if it could be worked out. The listing agent kept saying, well, he's not going to sell them the property for that amount. He's not. He wants a second appraisal. And again, we're like, okay, we'll send the comps, but it turns out she didn't have no comps. So I get on the MLS, that's the multiple listing service, and I look for houses that are similar to the house that they were buying. It was one house. We had one opportunity. So, beautiful home in Lakeland. I said, okay, what am I going to do? Because, they're under contract on this house. You cannot be under contract on 2 houses at one time. And I said, what if this doesn't work out? What if they do decide, we're going to sell them the house for the appraisal price instead of what the seller originally wanted? So I contact the listing agent of the second house. I tell her everything that's going on, not giving her details, but I do let her know what my situation is. And she said, I'll take them to see it. Just go ahead and take them to see it. So that night, after I talked to her, I sent the fiance, the wife, I send her a text message and I say, hey, what are you guys doing in the morning at 10 a.m.? And so she responds, she's like, nothing. I was like, can y'all meet me at XYZ address? And so she was like, yeah. And then she texts back, good night, laugh out loud. And so I was like, because she's very inquisitive. And so the fact that she didn't ask me, like, why you got us meet you at this random house? And I know her personality, and she didn't even look up the address. So that morning, I get there maybe like 15 minutes early. I look around the house and I'm like, oh my God, they're going to love this house. And I was like, you know what? I think they're going to love this house even more than the first one. So when they get there, I open the door, we walk around. So they're still like looking at me like, ma'am, what is happening? Like, why do you have us at this house? Like, what house is this? Whose house is this? Why are we here? So I let them look around. We look around. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. They love it. And so we walk out to the backyard. And so I was like, it's not enough room for a basketball court. But I was like, but it is enough room for a swimming pool to be built, you know. And so it was funny, but we go back into the kitchen and then I break the news to them that their appraisal came back low. And I also gave them all the details. I pulled them up to speed. I pulled up the appraisal because buyers, it's their appraisal. They pay for it. It's one of my lenders. We work together all of the time, and we have this relationship, but the appraisal belongs to the buyer. And so I pulled it up for them to see their appraisal and see, you know, the comparables that were used. I explained the situation. And again, so they are loyal. They still wanted to buy the first house. They had gotten attached to it, even though they were saying this second house is better. They were like, it's built better. We love the craftsmanship. You know, we could see ourselves being here, you know, XYZ. So the next day was a Saturday, I believe. And so I told them, why don't y'all? No, we were going to go look at another house because at this point, they're confused, you know, and I totally get it because they're like, we had our heart set on the first house. Now you're telling us we probably can't buy that one and you just tricked us and brought us to this other house. Like, what's going on? So we went and saw another house and they didn't like it. And they actually drove by the house that we saw the day before. And they saw the neighborhood like on a Saturday. The husband saw all of the neighbors out like washing their cars, like the men out washing their cars and the kids playing. And it was just, they loved it. They fell in love. And so fast forward, not to make a short story long, but a long short story short. But anyway, anyways, we ended up requesting our earnest money back, canceling the other contract, and we went under contract on the house that they loved, and we close next week. And I am so excited for them because they will be settled in their home and then they will get married next month. And so it is just great because we went through a few ups and downs and things happen, but I'm happy that it's all working out. And so I will keep you guys posted. And if they let me, I may show y'all a picture from the closing, but the way it's looking, it don't look like they're going to share their life on social media. And so I can't blame them for that. But so those are the buyers that I wanted to highlight and share with you all. So I have several listings right now, about 6 or 7. And I will be very honest and let you guys know that they are staying on the market a little bit longer than they had been previously last year. So I did want to highlight seller number 1. We'll refer to him as seller number 1. And this particular property is in West Memphis, Arkansas. because I am licensed in Arkansas and I do sell in Arkansas. So this particular seller reached out to me in 2021. Yes, you heard that right. 2021. Um, Actually, I in my neighborhood, I was driving and it was a what do you call roadblock what police put up because he was a policeman. And I gave him a card. I mean, I wasn't getting arrested or nothing, but I was just going through the roadblock. Let me clear that up for for you guys. I know how rumors get started, but I was not getting arrested. I was just going through the roadblock. And when I got, they have you to pull your driver's license out. And so when I did, I gave him my license. And after he checked it to make sure I wasn't the person that they were looking for, I asked him if I could give him a real estate card. And he said yes. So back in 2021, what happened? He had a friend of his that was living in the property. And the friend was wanting to get pre-approved to purchase the house. Well, circumstances happened and the friend didn't get pre-approved to buy that house. So he was going to let me do the transaction, but that didn't work out. And so some kind of way I know the friend that was living in the house contacted me several months ago, maybe like 4 months ago, 4 or 5 months ago, and was saying that he was interested in purchasing a home. Well, something happened with that, and I said, well, the guy, because I actually had lost the person's information that owned the property. I was more in contact with the tenant because that's who was going to be purchasing the property. Well, anyhow, to make a short story short again, a long story short, I said, well, if you're gonna move out and he needs to sell it, then will you ask him if I can list it? And he said, well, yeah. And I said, well, will you send me his phone number? Because at that point, I don't think I even had his phone number. And so I contacted him and I gave him, all of the details about me, where I am currently in real estate. I let him know that I've been selling in Arkansas. In the area, I was familiar with the area. I knew what the comps would be. I pulled the comps for him. I did a net sheet. A net sheet is when you basically let the seller know what they will be netting. It's an estimate because we're not real sure of what the taxes are exactly going to be when they're prorated and all of that. But my commission is in there. The other agent's commission is in there. I estimate their closing cost and their purchase price. It's like I take the purchase price that they're going to sell their property for and subtract everything from that. And then that's going to be what they end up netting, to explain that further. And so he decided that he would let me be his listing agent. So we put the house on the market. Lovely, lovely $200,000 home in the West Memphis area. 4-bedroom, 2 bath, can't ask for much more. Nice neighborhood, great school system. So the tenant was still in there. So we're like, okay, trying to work around the tenant is not always easy because they have work schedules and things like that themselves. And so I got so many showing requests, but they would always be at times that the tenant either wasn't available or didn't want the property shown because he hadn't cleaned up or things were out in the property. So, okay, fast forward, he moves out. Let me tell y'all can already just guess what happens. After we've had about 20 showing requests, he finally moves out and nothing. Nobody's calling. No, all of those people, where y'all go? Where y'all at? What happened to y'all? So my seller is out in California and he is really, he was really needing to sell the property because, first of all, nobody's living there. That's a liability, to have a vacant property that nobody is, going to daily. And on top of that, he wants the money to buy something in California, and they already told him that he wasn't going to be able to do that. So finally, and when I say finally, I mean after several months, because I told you guys that it's just not going the way that it was going, several months, a year or so, or even 2 years ago. Definitely not 2 years ago, but it's not even going the same as it was a year ago. Properties are going off the market, are staying on the market rather a lot longer. So very fortunate. He's very happy. We're under contract. We have the title work back. And for you guys that don't know, when you buy a property, you close with a title company and they do a title search on the property. They check for liens, they check for all kinds of things to make sure that the person selling you the property is actually the rightful owner of that property, so that you will be the rightful owner when you close on it. So everything is going well. The other agent, she's very easy to work with and communicates very well, and so I definitely appreciate that. And I know that other agents in this business appreciate when it's very easy to work with another agent that communicates very well. So that's seller number one. So seller number two, when I worked at the Department of Human Services back in, okay, so I'm trying to do the math because Bailey was a baby, like a toddler. So 17 years ago, she was my trainer when I first started, and we started on Jackson Avenue. That's where I worked on 3rd Street, but I trained on Jackson. And so she was our trainer, and she tried to make it like as fun, for us as possible. I mean, we learned how to process food stamps and Medicaid, and I think it was called Families First. And so that's what I did before I got my master's. But she was always so lovely, and I really, really admired her. And so moving forward, I looked at my phone, and she reached out to me right in 2019, right when I became a real estate agent. And she said that she wanted to buy a house, but she wasn't quite ready, and asked me, what should she do? So we talked about that, and we have been literally talking on and off since 2019. I became licensed in real estate in May, and she was one of my very first potential clients. That's why it's important to continue talking to potential clients, because they actually do become clients. And her plans kind of changed a little bit, and she decided that she wouldn't be buying because she had a house that was inherited, but that she would want me to sell her property. So I mean, I think I did the walkthrough like last year. I want to say August, or maybe even before that. But it took some time to get it going, but it's going, and we got a contract on this one so fast because it was in a high rental area. And so we got a lot of cash offers, and she chose the one that worked best for her. And I am just so happy for her, and I am happy for the relationship that we had at DHS so many years ago. And I want her to know that she was always so kind to me, and I really, really appreciate that, because that was not an easy job at all. And I am thankful and happy that she chose me to be her realtor. Woo! So we have gone through all of that, and I just wanted to give you guys, some of you that are still wondering, like, should I buy a house right now, or should I sell my house? What should I do? And I can't answer that question for you, because and honestly, nobody can. And if people are telling you what you should do, those are the people that you probably need to run from, because You have to decide if you're ready to purchase a home or if you're ready to sell your home. My job as a real estate agent is to guide you, and to give you the information that you need, the tools that you need, and to help you through the process, but not to um, do any decision making, because I'm not the person that's going to live in that property or that's going to have to deal with the fact that I sold my property. So that is not my job, and that's not what I do. So that leads us into some qualities that your real estate agent should have, that I feel like, not that I feel like, that I know I possess. Your real estate agent should have integrity. This means that they should be honest. It should be somebody that you trust. It definitely should be someone that you feel like is working for you, not someone that's trying to just get a commission check, but someone who really cares about your transaction, you and your transaction, and doing what's best for you. One of the second things that I want to mention is someone who communicates very well. And not to toot my own horn, but I will, because this is important. I got a very, you know, the builders and the agent who was the principal broker of the property from buyer one that I just told you guys about. They're a family business, and I can tell that they take a lot of pride in their building. Like I said, the craftsmanship of this home is beautiful, and just seeing them work together when we did the inspection, I can tell that they are just very close knit and that they care about their business. The husband, both of them have given me compliments, but one of the compliments that they gave me was that my communication, they said you have very good communication, like you are on top of it. Not saying I'm just texting back at every moment, but to keep a transaction flowing, you want to have good communication, not only with the other side of the transaction, but you want to have good communication with your buyer or your seller. I mean, when they do have questions, you want to be able to answer them. You want to be able to guide them. So I appreciate when I get compliments. You know, it's not easy in this real estate world. So anybody that takes the time to acknowledge something that I'm doing right, I want to be told when I'm not doing something right. But it does feel very good to be told when I am doing something right. So, where are we? I know. So we are about to talk about some of the predictions for real estate for 2024. So I'm going to pull those up. If you guys give me a second, I will pull them up on my laptop. Okay. And I have to brighten it up because I am blind. So, after falling to a 28-year low in 2023, existing home sales will gradually rebound as mortgage rates decline. So these are just some of the predictions of what's going to happen over the next several years in real estate. With home prices holding onto their gains due to lack of supply, true price discovery will occur as lending rates fall and more homes are listed for sale. So I think right now what's happening, not I think, I know right now what's happening, people are afraid to sell, or they're afraid that the value of their home is not going to be the same in a couple of years. And so what this prediction is saying is that over the next couple of years, prices will kind of start to waver out, and we will know what the true value of homes are. Sales of newly built homes will hold their elevated market share due to builders' ability to buy down mortgage rates plus pent up housing demand. So it is a very good thing when a builder can help buy down a rate for a client. Sales of newly built homes with their elevated market share due to builders' ability to buy down mortgage rates plus pent up housing demand. Another prediction is rents will stabilize due to added supply and more closely track inflation rates. So all of these are some predictions for 2024. through, I think it said 2028. So it is exciting and interesting to see exactly what is going to happen. We know that the housing market is quite different right now than it was some years ago. And, in having the conversation, is it a good time to buy or sell? Like, I want to reiterate, if it is for you and that's your decision, then we are here. I am here to guide you in that decision. But I don't feel that you should be pressured into buying or selling at this time because we know what's going on with the economy. We know that the presidential election is coming, and so if you have to do what works best for you, and like I said, when you choose a real estate agent to work with, you have to choose that person knowing that they're not your decision maker. They're there to act as a guide for you. And so I just wanted to share that as well. The next hot topic, I guess, or the hot topic that I'm going to talk about that I am going to have to pull up is the National Association, of Realtors Settlement Agreement. The 400, let me find it because it has been the topic. And what I want to just read a little bit off of the website. And it says facts first, because there's been a lot of hearsay and the media is getting some of this wrong. The National Association of Realtors do not set commission rates. And so that is one false thing that I know that I've heard myself. Commission rates have never been set. They are negotiated. They can be negotiated as much as someone wants to pay, or they can be lowered. It is rumored that they've been set at 6%, but that is not true. And so that is the first. It says facts first, and you can pull this up on the National Association of Realtors website. This is not from me. This is on the website. It says, there's much the media has gotten wrong about NAR's settlement, which will require the association to pay $418 million over 4 years. Some outlets have suggested that NAR previously set or guided commissions to a standard rate of 6%. It says, even President Joe Biden in recent comments misspoke in suggesting that the settlement makes commissions negotiable for the first time. That's not true. They've always been negotiable. And all of the real estate agents that I work with and that we all know that commissions are negotiable. You know that it's false. NAR does not set commissions, and commissions were negotiable long before this settlement. They are and will remain entirely negotiable between brokers and their clients. And housing prices are dictated by market forces beyond members' controls. We don't set the prices of the houses. Realtors don't do that. It's a whole system of how the houses have, the appraisal value of the houses that don't have, a lot to do with even us as agents. We are working under a system that was already created before us. So I just wanted to share that. Any information that you want to get, I think that it would be wise to get it off of NAR's website so that you can have the true facts and not listen to the myths that are out here. If you have any questions about real estate, any questions at all, feel free to email me at brookeboonerealestate@gmail.com. Again, that's brookeboonerealestate@gmail.com. Brooke with an E, Boone with an E. So this has been a great episode. This has been a Brooke Boone episode, and I'm happy to talk about real estate, that I was able to talk about real estate with you guys today. If you're looking to sell a property, or if you're wanting to buy a property, I am here for you. I would love to be a realtor. You can contact me at 901-628-6989, or you can go to my website, which is brookejboone.com. Facebook, Instagram, Real Estate 101 with Brooke Boone. It's all out there. So I want to ask you guys a huge favor because I forget to do this a lot. I want you guys to go to my YouTube page, Real Estate 101 with Brooke Boone, and subscribe. If you like me, subscribe. If you like anything I said today, subscribe. If you don't like me and you don't like what I said, still subscribe to my YouTube channel, Real Estate 101 with Brooke Boone, and I am out.